Starting an interior design business can be an absolute minefield. Trust me, I know it. I've tried a few times and I'm still right in the middle of it. So hopefully today's video will give you a bit of insight on the things that you might need in place in case you've not done interior design businessing before. Give you an idea of the things that you need to have in place, the software, the tech, other little bits and bobs that will just help you to run your own business as a solo designer. Hello, welcome back to Space for Edit. On this channel we talk about all the things that they don't teach you in design school but you need to know in the real world. My name is Cynthia. I am a commercial interior designer and currently I'm kind of in the transition phase from being a freelance designer to being my own solopreneur interior designer. I have to start this video with a bit of a caveat that I've been dipping in and out self-employment for about like the last decade, which is basically my interior design career. So whatever I'm talking about today, I have either kind of gathered throughout the years. Do not feel discouraged if you don't have all of these things straight away, especially the tech. It will take some time, but if you would ask me the top 3 things that you need to have when you first start out, then the first would be a good laptop. This is something that you need. Second would be the correct software, because without software you can't really do much in this business. And third would be domain name and your business email. So not like at gmail.com. Have a domain and put an email to it. You don't have to have the website straight away figured out, but a professional email just makes all the difference. Okay, so there's 3 main parts to this video. I will talk about the software and the apps that I'm using. Then I'll mention the equipment, the kind of like gadgets that I have. And the third will be just like other bits and bobs that I thought it would be worth mentioning. Let's get into the software and apps that you need to run your own design business. First, let's focus on design work. What do you actually need to create the design to present to your client? Pinterest is my go-to for inspiration, for collecting my ideas, getting like the newest trends, getting the newest inspiration from it. I have a video of how to use Pinterest for like all your design work, so that will be linked below. There's gonna be a lot of videos that I will link below today. As I was creating the script for this video, there were quite a lot of topics that I've already touched on, so make sure you check out the description box below for all the extra information. Then we have AutoCAD. Obviously AutoCAD we use for plans, for 2D drawings, for technical drawing packages. A little thing to mention here is, which I'm actually doing at the moment as well, I am only paying for a monthly subscription for most of the software. I used to have a year-long subscription, and that kind of makes sense if you got a lot of work coming through and you've got projects at different stages. So let's say one is a concept, the other is detail, and you need all of that software at the same time. But at the moment I only need a certain software at a certain time, so I might be working on my AutoCAD proposals on my layout for a month, and then I'm moving on to 3D, which takes another month. So to save money, to be a bit scrappy, because you have to when you start off, I just get a monthly subscription. If I need another one, then okay, we'll get another one. So keep that in mind. If you don't have the budget to pay £500, £600 for a whole year, you can go around it and maybe just get a monthly fee and put that in your design fees, so you have money set aside for that as well. Next we have SketchUp. Obviously love SketchUp, everything 3D, all your visuals. You can also create elevations, sections, floor plans, so all of that can be achieved from SketchUp. If you're new here, you might not know this, but I do have a whole course specifically created for interior designers. There's tutorials that take you from zero to final visuals, elevations like I just mentioned. Make sure you check out the link below. It's free. I love to use Enscape for CGI renders and video walkthroughs. This is my go-to. I love how easy it is to use it. I love how responsive it is. It's real-time rendering. So whatever I'm doing now, changing colors, materials, layout, whatever, I see it in 3D in the full resolution, finished rendered image straight away. It's a game changer for me and I absolutely love it. And I also use Photoshop here and there. I used to do mood boards on Photoshop, but now I tend to use Canva. So Photoshop is still there. I'm still paying a monthly subscription for it just because it's good for retouching. Recently I did a photo shoot on one of my projects, so all of those images I can retouch. There's the cool new AI feature that edits the video for you if you have something that you don't want in it. For example, the photos had some of the staff in there and there's a strict policy that no staff should be in any photos. I was not aware of it before I did the photo shoot, so the AI tool has helped me so much. If you do the tutorials or you know my kind of sketch style visualization, I also use Photoshop to create that sketchy style. So you get a visual from SketchUp and then you put it into Photoshop and edit it to make it look like watercolory. So these kind of reasons, I do like to keep Photoshop in the back of my pocket. We'll see how long that lasts because Canva is very much kind of catching up with Photoshop in those areas that I'm using it for. Moving on to business and admin. What do you need to run your business side of business? Starting with a phone. I have my phone with me. I could not do any business without phone. Starting from calls, messaging, to internet access, to taking photos, taking videos, taking video calls. It is crazy how much we are attached to this. So actually, if you are investing in something, if you can get a really good phone with lots of memory and good camera quality, game changer. I use G Drive or /G Suite, is it called? Basically all the apps that are for documents, for spreadsheets, for just document storage. I love the fact that it's online and I can tap into it at any point. I can tap into it from my phone, from my laptop, wherever I am. That really works for me. The business is still quite small. I'm not getting bombarded with loads of inquiries and I don't have loads of clients that I have to manage at the same time. So I don't really need all these like smart fancy softwares, accountancy softwares and project management softwares. I can deal with some spreadsheets. It is fine. Just get a good old spreadsheet, make sure your folders are organized and get on with it, because at the end of the day the design work is the main thing. Once again, I turn to Google for planning my days and weeks. I'm not as good as planning out my day hour by hour, but I do love to just plan out my week and plan out my month, color code it, make sure that I've allowed enough time for all of the projects that I have in my head. So I'm not just talking about design projects, I'm talking social media collaborations, any new digital projects that I want to release. Google Calendar is my go-to. I love how it's laid out. I love how simple it is to use. I also like that it's kind of separate from my email provider, which is basically our next item, business email. I use GoDaddy/Outlook. So I've got my domain, spaceforedit.com. Website is coming. We're working on it. Whilst the website is not up and running, I can still use the domain and put my business email in front of it. So I use GoDaddy for that, and GoDaddy automatically connects you with Outlook. But I like the fact that I've got my calendar, my planning, my files separately from my email. I don't know what it is, but it just makes sense. I feel like that is more focused, business, and then this is like behind the scenes. I don't know. It works. And for video calls with clients, which happens quite a lot these days, I either use Teams or Zoom, and none of them are paid for versions. Usually if it's a team meeting, then the client sets up the meeting and all I need to do is just join in. I want to organize a meeting, I will use the Zoom call option where you still get your screen share. They say that you get 40 minutes, but you do get your whole 60 minutes for free. In my experience so far, an hour has been ample. And the last kind of subsection in the software section, we have YouTube and social media. So a big part of my business is doing this, being on YouTube, being on socials. So I wanted to include that in this video just in case if you are wondering, maybe you're thinking about doing it yourself. So here are the things that I use for that. Squarespace is where I'm building my website at the moment. I've been a Wix fan for a while, but I just thought, you know what is the big deal? Let's have a look. So far it's going all right. I'm still kind of just trying to get the basics out first and then maybe start building on it later. I just want a home that is online, website, boom, Squarespace. Next, for social media and YouTube content, I have Canva. Like I mentioned before, I do use Canva for some of my presentations. Also use it for design for your document, which I will link below. And also Canva is widely used for creating social media content. So carousels, still posts. I love that you can just set up your templates and it's available again online anywhere in the world. I can use it from my phone even if I want to, or download it and post it on my Instagram. That connection with a laptop and the phone is brilliant, and it's all online. I use iMovie to edit my videos. Mostly it's just YouTube videos. Sometimes I edit reels in there, but not often. I usually edit reels on my phone. iMovie comes as an included application when you get your MacBook, and that has got me through to creating videos like, what has it been, 5 years, 6 years now? I feel like I am ready for the next step soon, but not just yet. I'm absolutely fine with it. I like how simple it is to use it, and I'm not too techie with it. Bam, 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 iMovie does the job. Speaking about video editing, I edit my reels on the phone and I use InShot and Story Cutter. InShot is great for editing reels, so you got all your little clips, you can throw them together, add some effects, add some color grading, text on top, music on top, whatever you want to do. InShot is quite great. It's a shame that they don't have a desktop app. I feel like that would be so much easier because I hate spending loads of time trying to like zoom in and do all the little things. I much prefer to sit down on a laptop, get my big screen out and edit that way. So I use InShot for that, and for that I think I have a yearly subscription that I recently renewed. Can't remember what it was now, but if you are posting a lot of content online, I think it is worth paying for InShot just to get the watermarks out and just look a lot more professional. If we're talking about apps and social media, obviously we need to talk about which apps to use as an interior design business owner. My top apps are LinkedIn, Instagram, a bit of TikTok, YouTube for shorts and YouTube for long form video, and I think that is it. Oh, Threads. I'm dabbing into Threads, but I just don't think it's my kind of scene. Short form video content, okay, but short form text is just not my kind of vibe. I don't think it's me, so I am dabbing into it, but we'll see. We'll see about Threads. Last one in this section, we have Epidemic Sounds, which I do pay a monthly membership for. This is royalty-free music that you can use across all platforms as long as it's just for that one account that you connect to. I love a little bit of background music and it's so easy to use. I always just go on it. There's recommendations straight away. Some of those top 10 I will definitely pick one and just drop on my video. All about efficiency, all about speed. Okay guys, this is where I get really close to the camera and remind you that if you are enjoying this content so far, please consider hitting the like button, leaving a comment afterwards, or subscribing if you haven't. This helps massively for this channel's growth and just pushes out to the algorithm, pushes out to more people. So, you know, we can continue all of this. Please like, thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and let's get back to the video. Okay, I think for the next section, I'm gonna have to spin the camera around and show you the setup. I would love to talk a little bit about my home office slash guest bedroom. So let me just lighting. Basically, where I do most of my work from is my spare bedroom, my guest bedroom. I have set it up in a way that I have my workstation there, and then when we have guests, this sofa can also be made into a bed, which is this little section here. So as far as the desk setup goes, let me spin you around and show you what we are dealing with. Okie dokie, so it's nothing major at all. Please don't get overwhelmed by thinking that you need loads of equipment. So let's start with my laptop. I've done a vlog about it on how I went about getting it and all the spec that you need, but I think this is a really good machine to have. Then I've just got it hooked up to a monitor, and usually I don't extend these two. I usually just kind of duplicate it and work on this big one. Got a keyboard. That's a Mac one that unfortunately doesn't connect straight away. I need a lead for it. That happens. Obviously mouse, speaker there, some samples, a bit of light, and that is it. I very much just use that. I also have another laptop, which is this Mac one. I tend to just use Mac for admin work and that sort of stuff, and then when I need to do design work, I return to that one. Just a bit of cable management, work bag, and a laptop bag, chair. Fun fact, that chair is still from my old employer. That is it. A cute little corner, plenty of space over here for like the guest bedroom setup. Recently I created this background as well, just when I'm doing like Zoom calls or video calls, at least I've got something behind. I do want to create something under here, like pin boards and visuals and samples, like fabric samples and stuff like that. I don't know, we'll see. So that is the home office setup there, but if we are mentioning YouTube, if we are mentioning content creation, I thought it would be good to also show you a little insight on what kind of equipment I'm using. I do editing on my MacBook in iMovie. I'm gonna spin you around, show you the rest. We obviously have tripods and lights. That's my ring light. I also have extra box lights that I'm not using today just because I don't need it. And then I tend to just use a gear bag to store all of kind of my equipment. What do we have here? Ooh. Just because it's sometimes easier than if I need to go, I can just take it all and most of the stuff is in there. Starting from here, I have my old little camera that I use every now and then as well. This camera, EOS M50 Mark II, with a Rode mic attached to it. A couple of memory drives, I need more. I always need more storage. Chargers for the camera, little tripod. I'm not too excited about these Joby ones. I've got two of them now and both of them are a bit dodgy. I'll get a bit dodgy after a while. Yeah, a little plug to charge on the go. Then a notepad. Oh, power bank. Yes, need that. This is my Insta 360 Flow. Love to do some walkthrough videos and this one's quite cool. Tripod usually actually goes there, but obviously I'm using it today. There's SD card storage, SD card reader. That's the little mics, you know, the little wireless mics that you see people using. This one has got two, so I can do like interview style. And I think that's it. Oh, over here, I think I store some stuff in there as well. That's like sort of my document storage, I guess. There's rubbish in there and there's gaming situation in there. So that is my professional setup for filming and for doing design work. Let's put you back on. Okay, I've just got a few little bits that I think it would be worth mentioning, seeing as we are talking about running your own business. Then it's not just the tech, it's not just the gear, it's not just the office. There are other things that we need to talk about. Sample storage. As you can see, I have not got one. There is a cupboard in the wall where like a few shelves of them have got some sample books, but it's a very basic selection. If I need something that I don't have in those books or I need another supplier, I will just contact them and ask for the samples to be sent out to me. So I don't think that you need to have a big library to do your interior design projects. You can just order samples as you go and when you need it. There's not that many things that need printing these days because most of the presentations are either presented digitally or they are sent out through emails, and that's digital as well. But if I do need to print a presentation, or most likely that will be floor plans and technical drawing packs, either before you go on a site meeting or have just a meeting with contractors. I think I use a local print shop. I don't have a printer in-house. I don't need it. It's not that much of a big deal. For the times that I do need it, I go to the local print shop and it's fairly well priced. I wouldn't say it's like cheap, but then again, for cheap you would get a cheap quality anyway. For meeting rooms, as you can see, I am not going to be calling my clients to come to my house. I wouldn't even meet with suppliers in my house, you know, when they sometimes want to show you a new collection or whatnot. We have a great space in Manchester called Material Source, which is basically space that interior designers, architects, built industry professionals can just go in and use as a co-working space. And there are also lots of suppliers have exhibited their products. So if you need to work on a project and you need like inspiration, or you need to see some kind of a fabric or a tile, you can get a little inspiration there and then. And they have meeting rooms as well. So if there's a client presentation, I can hire out a beautiful meeting room, and it's the perfect setup. It's like inviting someone into your design office. And last but not least, pretty much of a big deal, I would say it's quite a big deal, is my car. It is out there. I'm not going to show it. It's a big fam wag. It's nothing fancy, but you know what? It gets me from A to Z, or from A to B. It gets me to the client, it gets me to suppliers, gets me to events, and without it, especially because we live kind of on the outskirts of the city life, I would be absolutely lost. I would either be spending all of my money for taxis and spending time in public transport, which I absolutely hate. But yes, having your own car, I do feel like is a must, because otherwise you are very much restricted to how you can travel and how flexible you can be with your travel. It's doable, obviously it's doable, but having that option to just jump in a car and go to site, go see a new client is priceless, I think. So a car is something that you should consider. I hope this has been helpful. I just want to remind you again that you do not need all of these things to start. What you need to start is actual business, actual projects. And if you are spending lots of money, then spend the money towards the things that will get more leads, and you actually get project in and you get paying clients. Once you have that, then you can start to do all the fancy things. You don't need 2 laptops, you just need one. A good one though, okay? Get a good one. You will not regret it. You can run on monthly subscriptions as and when you need the software. You can be scrappy about your branding, watch some tutorials, use some templates from Canva. Even the free ones are good. Or again, pay for a month for Canva and create your own branding kit from templates. Use some free business coaching, which I actually have a video coming up. I've been using some help, some business coaching help, and it has been eye-opening so far. Stay tuned for that. But yes, there are free resources out there that give you business advice and some coaching and some direction. Not everything has to be paid for. It is great if you can afford it, but you can get away without paying for quite a lot of things. So that's it for today. Thank you for sticking around this long. Remember to like the video, okay? Help the girl out. There's a few more videos in a playlist, obviously loads of links below. Check them out if you have any questions about anything that we discussed here today. Leave a comment or drop me a DM on Instagram if you have an idea about a new video or a topic that you want me to cover. If I don't see you there, I'll see you in the next video.